a comprehensive analysis of CSR investments undertaken by Kentraco in all counties hosting its energy transmission infrastructure, and the reasons for any disparities in the allocation of CSR resources across the counties. And 5, the measures put in place by the Ministry of Energy and Petroleum and Kentraco to ensure equitable distribution of CSR benefits across and within counties. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator for Marsabit County, the Honorable Mohammed Chute.
Mr. Speaker, sir, on behalf of the Senator of Marsabit County, I read his request for statement: emergency rehabilitation of roads in Marsabit County damaged by heavy rains. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Roads, Transportation and Housing on a matter of county-wide concern regarding the deterioration of several key roads in Marsabit County following the recent heavy rains. Mr. Speaker, sir, the ongoing rains have caused extensive damage to road infrastructure across Marsabit County. Flooding and erosion have rendered critical transport corridors impassable, severely disrupting the movement of people, goods, humanitarian assistance, medical referrals, and security operations. This situation has exposed residents on economic hardship, delayed emergency response services, and heightened vulnerability among already marginalized communities. The most affected roads include the Odada-Nadaba Road, Nyayo Road within Marsabit Town, Uran Road, the Loyangalani Access Road, the Shur Marsabit Road, and the Songa Marsabit Road. In the statement, the committee should address the following. 1, the immediate interventions being taken by the Ministry of Roads and Transportation to rehabilitate the affected roads, including timelines for restoration of accessibility. 2, the coordination mechanisms between the national government, Kenya Rural Roads Authority, Kenya Urban Roads Authority, and the county government to ensure swift response in maintaining roads in the area and ensure continued accessibility of affected roads during the rainy seasons. 3, whether a rapid assessment has been conducted to determine the extent of damage caused by the recent heavy rains across Marsabit County, and especially the resources allocated for emergency repair works. And 4, the long-term plans and the budgetary provisions in place to upgrade, climate-proof, and improve drainage systems along these roads to enhance resilience against recurrent flooding and extreme weather events. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator for Wajir County, the Honorable Abbas Mohammed.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee of National Cohesion, Equal Opportunity and Regional Integration on matters of national concern regarding the concerns of fairness, equity, and national cohesion. So on matter of national cohesion concern of national cohesion in March 2026 recruitment exercise conducted by KBA, Kenya Port Authority. Honorable Speaker, the recruitment exercise conducted by Kenya Port Authority has led to public outcry regarding regional balance, inclusivity, and adherence to the constitutional principles of equity, diversity, and equal opportunity in public service. As a national institution serving the entire Republic of Kenya, Kenya Port Authority is expected to reflect the face of Kenya in its deployment practice. In the statement, the committee shall address the following: the number of positions advertised, the number of applicants, and the number of successful candidates in the recruitment exercise. Disaggregated by county, region, gender, persons with disability, marginalized groups. 2, whether the recruitment process complied with Article 10, 27, and 56, and 232 of the Constitution on national values and principles of governance, equality and non-discrimination, protection of minorities and marginalized groups, fair competition, merit, inclusiveness, representation of Kenya's diverse communities in public service appointment. 3, the measures undertaken by the Kenya Ports Authority to ensure fairness, transparency, regional balance, inclusivity, and equal opportunity during the recruitment process. 4, the role played by relevant oversight institutions, including the National Cohesion and Integration Commission and the Public Service Commission in monitoring compliance with equity, diversity, regional balance requirements during the recruitment exercise by the State Corporation. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Statement pursuant to Standing Order 56-1B. The Chairperson, Standing Committee on Agriculture, Livestock and Fisheries.
Honorable Speaker, thank you for this opportunity. Statement relating to the activities of the Standing Committee on Agriculture, Livestock and Fisheries for the period January to 1st April 2026, pursuant to Standing Order 56-1B of the Senate Standing Orders. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 56-1B of the Senate Standing Orders to make a statement relating to the activities of the Standing Committee on Agriculture, Livestock and Fisheries during the first quarter of the 5th session, that is January to 1st April 2026. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Senate Standing Committee on Agriculture, Livestock and Fisheries is established under Standing Order 2283 of the Senate Standing Orders and is mandated to consider all matters relating to agriculture, irrigation, livestock, fisheries development, and veterinary services. Mr. Speaker, sir, during the period under review, the committee held a total of 16 sittings, during which it considered 4 bills and 9 statements. Additionally, the committee had meetings with the Kenya Sugar Board and the National Cereals and Produce Board to deliberate on matters under the committee's purview. Mr. Speaker, sir, during its most recent retreat held in Mombasa County, the committee held a meeting with the Ministry of Water, Sanitation and Irrigation to deliberate on matters relating to irrigation development. The committee resolved that the ministry should strengthen coordination with county governments in the management of irrigation projects and directed the Cabinet Secretary to furnish the House with a county disaggregated list of all projects under the Community Irrigation Projects, the Smallholder Irrigation Program, and the National Expanded Irrigation Program. Additionally, the committee conducted a site visit of the Kenya Marine and Fisheries Research Institute in Mombasa on 12th to 16th March of 2026. The purpose of the visit was to fact-finding mission, noting that the fisheries sector plays a critical role in supporting food security, livelihoods, and economic. The principal, sorry, Honorable Speaker. The principal, thank you, Honorable Speaker. Just a minute, Honorable Speaker, just to confirm something. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Economic development, producing approximately 180,000 to 200,000 tons of fish annually and supporting over 2 million Kenyans directly and indirectly. Mr. Speaker, sir, during this season, or this session, the committee had a joint retreat with its counterpart committee in the National Assembly on invitation by the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development on 8th and 13th of April 2026. The retreat enhanced the committee capacity on food imports, necessary interventions. It also provided a platform for engagement between the Ministry and Agriculture Committee drawn from the two houses on the key policy, legislative, and regulatory measures required to address the increasing reliance on food imports. Honorable Speaker, on bills, during the period under review, the committee considered the following 5 bills. Mediation on the Coffee Bill 2023, Senate Bills number 10 of 2023. The bill was processed by the Mediation Committee in December 2025 and was assented to on 13th March 2026 during the current reporting period. Mediation on the Food and Feed Safety Control Coordination Bill, National Assembly's number 21 of 2023. The bill was processed and passed in the Senate with amendments on 21st March 2024 and thereafter referred to the National Assembly where it was passed with amendments on 18th October 2024. The committee considered and adopted the report for tabling in the Senate. The National Assembly considered the report from the Senate and they did not agree with some of the amendments from the Senate. Therefore, the bill was referred for mediation committee. 10. The committee had its first meeting on Wednesday, 11th March 2026 and agreed on a mediation version of the report that was considered and unanimously adopted by the committee. Livestock Protection and Sustainability Bill 2024, Senate Bills number 32 of 2024. The bill was read at the first time in the Senate on 6th August 2024. The committee facilitated public participation and the committee received submissions from the Council of Governors and the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development. The committee report was considered and adopted on 26 March 2026 and was tabled in the House on 31st March 2026. The Seed and Plant Varieties Bill 2025, Senate Bill number 4 of 2025. The Seeds and Plant Varieties Amendment Bill 2025, Senate Bills number 4 of 2025, was published via Kenya Gazette Supplement number 66 on 9th May 2025. It was introduced in the Senate by way of first reading on Wednesday, 9th July 2025, and subsequently stood committed to the Standing Committee on Agriculture, Livestock and Fisheries pursuant to Standing Order 145. The principal object of the bill is to amend the Seed and Plant Varieties Act to introduce a standard-based seed registration system to be administered by the Kenya Bureau of Standards. This system is intended to operate alongside the existing certification system managed by the Kenya Plant Health Inspectorate Service, KEPHIS. The committee processed the bill and prepared and tabled its report in the Senate on 24th March 2026. The bill is currently at the committee stage. The Agriculture Produce Minimum Guaranteed Returns Bills 2025, Senate Bill number 17 of 2025. The bill was read a first time on Tuesday, 28 October 2025, and thereafter stood committed to for the consideration to the committee. The bill was subsequently committed to the Standing Committee on Agriculture, Livestock and Fisheries for consideration. The committee published an advertisement in the national dailies on Tuesday, 11th November 2025, seeking for a memorandum. The principal object of this bill is to establish a framework through which county governments can guarantee farmers a minimum return on their produce in order to cushion them against unpredictable market fluctuations. The bill is currently undergoing public participation, with the committee having resolved to undertake targeted stakeholders. Mr. Speaker, sir, during the period under review, 9 statements were sought from the committee as follows. 1. Statements sought by Senator Professor Tom Ojienda regarding ongoing initiatives aimed at restoring degraded agricultural land in Kisumu County. Statements sought by Senator Professor Ojienda regarding death of fish in fish cages in Lake Victoria, statements sought by Senator Alexander Mondigi, Dr. MP, regarding pest infestation threatening Muguka crop yields in Embu County, statement sought by Senator Edwin Sifuna MP regarding lapse of the common market for Eastern and Southern Africa COMESA sugar safeguard regime, statement sought by Senator James Murangu, mbunge kuhusu mradi wa kiwanda cha kusindika nyanya eneo la Kangai County ya Kirinyaga, statement sought by Senator James Murangu, MP, regarding performance of Kenya Agricultural and Livestock Research Organization, KALRO, in soil testing and analysis. Statement sought by James Murango, MP, Senator, regarding allocation and disbursement of the Commodities Fund for the clearance of coffee cooperative debt. Statement sought by Senator Eddie Okech, MP, regarding waiver of Agricultural Finance Corporation loans owed by farmers in Migori who were affected by 2011-2014 drought, and statements sought by Senator Enoch Wambua, MP, regarding use of emergency funds by county governments to purchase seed for residents in arid and semi-arid ASAL counties. Mr. Speaker, sir, out of the 9 statements, 2 statements have been concluded as follows. Statements sought by Senator Mondigi, MP, Doctor, regarding pest infestation threatening Muguka crop yields in Embu County. Letter forwarding response shared with the Senator. B, statement sought by Senator Edwin Sifuna, MP, regarding lapse of the common market of Eastern and Southern Africa COMESA sugar safeguard regime. Letter forwarding response shared with Senator. Mr. Speaker, sir, during the next quarter, the committee will prioritize the following legislative agenda. 1, engagements with county governments on the implementation status of irrigation, agriculture, and food security projects undertaken by the respective counties. 2, undertake inspection visit to assess progress on the Mwenche multipurpose dam project and the Galana Gulalu irrigation projects, accompanied by the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development, as well as water and irrigation, respectively. 3, commence the mediation on the MAGBIN Bill 2022, Senate Bill number 13 of 2022, and finally, undertake a retreat to deliberate on issues of concern raised on various bills with participation from targeted stakeholders, and further to consider and adopt the reports on the bills before the committee. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Senator David Wafula Wakoli, MP. Thank you.
The Chairperson, Standing Committee on Energy. That statement is deferred. The Chairperson, Standing Committee on Finance and Budget.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. A statement relating to the activities of Standing Committee of Finance and Budget, pursuant to Standing Order 56-1 for the period between 10th February and 30th April 2026. Mr. Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 56-1B to make a statement relating to the activities of the Standing Committee of Finance and Budget for the first quarter of the 5th session covering a period between 10th Feb and 30th April 26. During the period under review, the committee held 19 sittings, during which it processed and concluded 36 statements, considered 4 bills and 1 legislative proposal, and tabled 3 reports. Attached to this statement is a schedule of the legislative business considered by the committee and their status. Mr. Speaker, during the period under review, the committee processed and tabled reports on 1. The 2026 budget policy statement, where the committee recommended that the county equitable share for financial year 2026-2027 be approved at Kenya shillings 454.73 billion. 2, the 2026 medium-term debt management strategy, MTDS, and the Division of Revenue Bill, National Assembly Bill number 2 of 2026, the committee proposed that the schedule to the bill be amended to provide that the county equitable share for financial year 26-27 be Kenya shillings 454.73 billion. The committee also undertook joint county oversight engagements with the Standing Committee of Lands and Environment and Natural Resources to inspect projects funded by additional conditional allocation for financing locally led action, that is FLOCA, in the county of Kwale and Kilifi. The objective of the visit was to inspect, assess, and familiarize with the status of the implementation of the projects funded by FLOCA program. The committee also considered a legislative proposal on the PFM amendment bill. Mr. Speaker, as I proceed, in accordance with Article 118(2) of the Constitution and Senate standing orders, the committee held consultative meetings with National Treasury and Economic Planning, Commission of Revenue, Office of the Control of Budget, and the Council of Governors. The committee also engaged in other non-state actors in legislative business. These actors included County Assembly Forum, Institute of Certified Public Accounts of Kenya, ISPAC, Budget Hub, Institute of Public Finance, Institute of Economic Affairs. The committee sought public views on legislative businesses, including the 2026 BPS and MTDS, Equalization Fund Appropriation Bill 2025 of National Assembly 21 of 2026, and County Government's Additional Allocation Bill 2026 through advertisements in 2 national newspapers and other social media platforms, and that is actually what we were embarking on today. Number 9, Mr. Speaker, the committee followed and agreed mechanisms for processing statements, providing senators with responses as soon as they received from the relevant agency or county. The senator is required to indicate any issue that need clarification within 14 days, failure to which then the statement is considered concluded. And this one, Mr. Speaker, if you do a statement with the Committee of Finance, get a response. If you don't respond within 14 days, we assume, of course, that you are satisfied with the response from the relevant office. Number 9, Mr. Speaker, during the second quarter of the year, the committee is scheduled to, 1, process and table reports on the Equalization Fund Appropriation Bill, the County Government's Additional Allocation Bill, the County Allocation of Revenue Bill, and the Public Procurement Asset Disposal Bill. The request by National Treasury and Economic Planning for approval of stoppage of funds to the county government of Meru, something that we've executed today, Mr. Speaker, and that has been stopped. Undertake county oversight engagements to inspect projects funded by the additional allocation for FLOCA and Equalization Fund in Kisumu, Vihiga, Embu, Kirinyaga, and Wajir counties. Thereafter, the committee will table a report on the visits for consideration by the House, and we urge the relevant senators elected in those regions to accompany the committee. Consider the control of budget report on the implementation of the county government's budget. Lastly, as I conclude, Mr. Speaker, I wish to thank your office and the office of the Clerk of the Senate for the continuous support accorded to the committee in its work in executing its mandate. Lastly, I wish to thank the members of the committee, the chairman of the committee, Ali Roba, Dr. Boni Halwale, Senator Faki, Senator Esi, Senator Mariam, Senator Onyonka, and Senator Eddie, and yours truly, for the commitment in executing its mandate. I thank you all. God bless.
The Chairperson, Standing Committee on Health.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise pursuant to Standing Order 56(1)B to make a statement related to the activities of the Standing Committee on Health for the first quarter on the 5th session covering the period between February and April 2026. During the period under review, the committee held 26 sittings, which it considers 2 bills, 1 petition, budget policy statements 2026, and follow up on the implementation status of one Senate resolution. During the same period, 21 statements were referred to the committee for considerations. In this period, the committee considered stakeholder submission on 2 bills that had been committed for considerations, considered and tabled in its report on the bill. These are the Assisted Reproductive Bill and Autism Management Bill. During the period under review, the committee also considered its considerations on the petition-related alleged discriminations, interference, and violation of the clinical officers' practice rights by the Ministry of Health, the Council of Governors, and the SHA laid its reports on the table of the Senate. The petition on the CUSO raised a question touching on the health system, labor relations, health workforce, governance, and access to service. In its report, the committee noted that the clinical officers are often the first and in many places only the point of contact for patients, especially in the rural and underserved areas, where they provide diagnosis, treatments, and minor surgical procedures and long-term disease management. Mr. Speaker, sir, during the period under review, the committee considered oversight visits in 5 counties, that is Lamu, Nakuru, Bungoma, Baringo, Elgeyo Marakwet, and Nandi. Mr. Speaker, sir, a specific objective of these visits are to assess the state and the quality of the infrastructure, facilities and hospital equipment, and provision of emergency service and automations of the healthcare provision system for the patients, drugs, commodity management, and availability of requisite healthcare personnel, the gaps and the challenges, if any, and the counties face in regard to healthcare workers, access the availability of the drugs and medical supplies in the healthcare facilities in the county. Mr. Speaker, the engagement involved visiting to the key health facility, direct interactions with the county leadership, healthcare workers, and the members of the public. Mr. Speaker, during the visit, the committee observed a chronic staff shortage and low staff morale and motivations. In relation to the infrastructure, the equipment, the safety, and many healthcare facilities exhibit significant infrastructural deteriorations, inadequate facilities, severe overcrowding. The medical equipment is often non-functional, breakdown, or lying idle due to lack of reagents or technical experts. Several counties have significant capital-intensive healthcare projects that have either installed or remain non-operational years after initiation. Another observation is that the counties routinely face supply shortages of essential drugs, reagents, consumables. While improvements in the KEMSA fill rates were noted in some areas, and meted supply needs persistence, and facing patient to purchase a medicine privately. Accumulation of the expired drugs on the shelves and in store is widespread, indicating a poor stock management and inadequate disposal procedures. Health record management and inventory record system is heavily reliant on a sufficient manual paper-based process. Mr. Speaker, during the period of under review, 21 statements were committed to the committee for considerations. The committee sought reports on the issue, raised a statement from the relevant stakeholder. In this regard, the committee received 15 responses, which were submitted to the senators for their consideration. Subsequently, the committee has considered, considered 8 statements, instances where their response were found to be unsatisfactory and insufficient. The committee sought supplementary information and clarifications from the concerned stakeholders. During the second quarter, the committee will follow up on implementation status of the Senate resolution pursuant to provision of Standard Order 2284. The committee will also consider the reports on the cells, tissue, and organ transplant service in Kenya and operational reports of the SHA. Mr. Speaker, in conclusion, I wish to thank your office, the Office of the Clerk, the Senate for continue supporting according to the committee to execute its mandates, and also wishes to thank the member of the committees for diligence and contribution to undertake the committee mandate. Thank you.
A statement pursuant to Standing Order 57-1, the Senate Majority Leader.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Statement by the Senate Majority Leader on the business of the Senate for the week commencing Tuesday, 12th, 2026, pursuant to Standing Order 57-1. Mr. Speaker, sir, pursuant to Standing Order 57-1, I hereby present the business for the week commencing Tuesday, 12th May, 2026. Mr. Speaker, sir, the status of legislative business before the Senate is as follows. 1. 66 bills are pending conclusion, of which 49 are at second reading, 16 are at committee of the whole, and 1 awaiting first reading. 2. 17 motions are pending conclusion. 3. 17 petitions are pending conclusion by respective standing committees. Of these petitions, 15 are due for reporting. And finally, 515 statements pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 are under consideration by respective standing committees. Mr. Speaker, sir, as indicated in today's order paper, at orders number 8 to 14, there are several bills pending division at second reading, and at order number 15, the motion on the consideration of the report on the Mediation Committee on the National Disaster Risk Management Bill, National Assembly, number 24 of 2023, is likewise awaiting division. I therefore implore upon honorable senators to remain in the chamber so that the pending divisions may be undertaken, and urge the party whips to ensure that the requisite number of county delegations are present to enable the Senate to dispense with the business. Mr. Speaker, sir, at the next sitting of the Senate on Tuesday, 12th May 2026, the tentative business for the day will include business not concluded from today's order paper, as well as business indicated in the notice paper. The tentative business for the morning sitting on Wednesday, 13th May 2026, will include questions to Cabinet Secretaries as approved by the Senate Business Committee, as well as motions. The questions scheduled include 1. Questions to the Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Information, Communication, and the digital economy. Questions to Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Cooperatives and Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises. And question to the Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Environment, Climate Change and Forestry. Mr. Speaker, sir, the tentative business for the afternoon sitting on Wednesday, 13th May 2026 will include business not concluded on Tuesday's order paper and the following. Bills at second reading. 1. Agriculture and Food Authority Amendment Bill, Senate number 13, 2023. The County Government's Senate Officers Removal from Office Procedure Bill, Senate Bills number 34, 2024. The County Government's Amendment Bill, Senate number 39 of 2024. The Street Naming and Property Addressing System Bill, Senate number 43 of 2024. The County Government's Laws Amendment Bill, Senate number 52 of 2024. And the County Government Laws Amendment Bill, Senate number 14 of 2025. B. Bills at Committee of the Whole. 1. The Seed and Plant Varieties Amendment Bill, Senate number 4 of 2025. The Sport Amendment Bill, Senate number 33 of 2024. The Electronic Equipment Disposal, Recycling and Reuse Bill, Senate number 5 of 2025. The Bill Procurement and Asset Disposal, National Assembly Bill 48 of 2024. Motions. Report on the Standing Committee on Health of the County Oversight and Networking Engagement in Kitui, Makueni, Machakos counties. Report on the Standing Committee on Health on the County Oversight and Networking Engagements in Kiambu County. Report on the Standing Committee on Health on the County Oversight and Networking Engagements in Bungoma and Kakamega counties. Report on the Standing Committee on National Security, Defense and Foreign Relations on Sessional Paper number 1 of 2025 on Foreign Policy of the Republic of Kenya. Number 8, the projected business for Thursday, 14th May 2026 will include business not concluded on the order paper for Wednesday, 13th May 2026 and any other business scheduled by the Senate Business Committee. Mr. Speaker, sir, as honorable senators will recall, the Senate is scheduled to proceed on recess at the rise of the Senate on Thursday, 14th May 2026, in accordance with the Senate calendar. I therefore once again urge honorable senators with business scheduled on the order paper and the program of the Senate business for next week to be available in the Senate to prosecute the same. I thank you and hereby lay the statement on the table of the Senate. On behalf of Senator Aaron Cheriot, EGHMP, Senate Majority Leader. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Senators. I will allow comments on the statements that have been sought for a period not exceeding 15 minutes. So if you get an opportunity to speak, kindly do so for not more than 3 minutes. However, no comments shall be made on the statements that has been requested by Senator Abbas, because it has been established that that particular statement is in violation of Standing Order 54, and therefore the same is hereby expunged from the record until such a time that particular violation is cured. The Honorable Senator for Nairobi City County, Senator Sifuna. Senator Cherankei.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Sir, let me comment on one statement by the Senator, distinguished Senator of Marsabit. Mr. Speaker, we don't want to blame the rains, because there are so much rains for us farmers. We are happy that there is a lot of rains, there is a lot of food. So, Speaker, my only concern is on the issue of roads that he has raised. I think the Ministry of Roads and Transport was unfair, because if you look what the Ministry of Roads did, they only allocated over 8 billion to under Kura within Nairobi City County roads, Mr. Speaker, leaving other counties. And you know, under Kera budget, there is always emergency funds. And I know you have been served as Member of Parliament before. I don't know whether the Kera emergency funds, 40%, and even Senator Maanzo has already been there. So the question is, why would they allocate only Nairobi 8 billion, Mr. Speaker? And even they have gone ahead to put 5 billion within CBD roads Jogoo roads and Soweto areas, Mr. Speaker. So I believe the Ministry of Roads and Transport must tell us what is happening, because we would have expected in this 8 billion that is allocated to Nairobi, at least each and every county should get at least some allocation for repair of roads, Mr. Speaker, while we empathize and sympathize with Kenyans, because we are told across the country for a couple of few days, 18 Kenyans have died. And we have seen even across the country. Remember, Iten Kabarnet Road was blocked because of heavy rains. There is a bridge in my county called Chebnoet Bridge, Mr. Speaker. There is one in Bonjoke in Aldai. There is another one, Mr. Speaker, in Tindred constituency, Mr. Speaker, in Nandi County. And I know it's virtually across many counties, Mr. Speaker. So we hope the Roads and Transport Committee will be able to tell us. Finally, secondly, Mr. Speaker, is there are many roads, Mr. Speaker, including your county, Kilifi, and across the country, even in Nandi, where contractors have been given contract. Would it be hard for the Ministry of Roads, through Kura, Kera, and Kena, who are the supervising agents, to ensure as the contractors do the roads, they maintain so that it becomes possible for the benefit of Kenyans that are using these roads, Mr. Speaker? And you saw even the case of Tana River. It is now flooding and people are moving because of heavy floods that we see in Tana River, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, finally on the issue of health, the one on Agriculture Committee, Mr. Speaker, I had a question where I had requested that under the Crops Act of 2019, Mr. Speaker, all cereals must measure 90 kilograms, must measure 50 kilograms. But Mr. Speaker, I brought, and I'm happy the Chair of Agriculture is there, that why is it that maize is measured at 50 kilograms, while potatoes, mung beans, Mr. Speaker, beans are measured at 50 kilograms. They are ripping off from maize farmers, Mr. Speaker, and I hope the Chair of Agriculture who is here should listen and address that matter, because it is affecting and demoralizing my maize farmers, Mr. Speaker, yet it is in the law. The National Cereals and Produce Board must and should buy maize at 50 kilos so that my maize farmers in Nandi, in Uasin Gishu, and across the country can get opportunity. Mr. Speaker, I support.
Senator Manzo.
Mr. Speaker, I equally arise to support Senator Chute. Mr. Speaker, recently Senator Chute took me and Senator Consolata to his county. And specifically, we, as a Committee of National Cohesion, we were going to help sort out some cohesive issues in the north, and especially with the border with Ethiopia. And Mr. Speaker, it took us over 12 hours to get to Moyale. But thank God and President Kibaki, he did the Moyale road. It used to take 4 days to get to Moyale from Nairobi. But any other place you have to leave the main road, Mr. Speaker, you cannot move. In fact, from Moyale to Mandera is 400 kilometers on a rough road with the rivers. And it tells me that if you go with a brand new car, and you have to carry 4 other new tires, because you are going to lose all your tires on the way. Mr. Speaker, bearing in mind that we have rolled a levy and that we are raising a lot of taxes from fuel, we should be able to grade roads and do roads in every single county of this nation, Mr. Speaker. The situation in Marsabit is very wanting, and Mr. Speaker, it's a county blessed with a lot of, resources, Mr. Speaker. We have places you can do new towns. We have places you can, do animals and even slaughter them there, and even, because of being halal, send them to Middle East very easily using cargo planes. The nation has not invested in northern Kenya, and I think it should begin with the roads. That is where it pains most, so that the people in that area can have access. The communities live far and wide. They are very hard to reach, and I think it's a high time now we made equal opportunity for this nation, Mr. Speaker. It is not only Marsabit County suffering. Makueni County also got a very little allocation even to do the roads which belong to the county. And after the rains, almost every county in the Republic, Mr. Speaker, has a challenge with feeder roads, with roads where you can transport food produce, where you can transport animals for those who rear animals. Mr. Speaker, I believe that the committee dealing with the roads should really take this matter seriously so that we have equal distribution of resources in the Republic. I thank you and I support.
Senator Kinyua.
Asante Bwana Spika kunipa fursa hii. Nataka kuchangia taarifa iliyoletwa na Senator Boni Halwale kuhusu umiliki wa ardhi, Bwana Spika. Bwana Spika, kamati inayohusika ambayo inaongozwa na seneta wa Mombasa, Seneta Faki, wanapaswa washughulikie hili jambo kwa sababu umiliki wa ardhi katika Jamhuri ya Kenya, kwa sababu ya ukosefu wa zile hati miliki za ardhi, unapata kunakuwa na migogoro, unapata hata mauaji yanatokea, Bwana Spika, kwa sababu ya ukosefu wa hizi hati miliki. Kwa hivyo kamati inapaswa wafuatilie kabisa, na hasa hii tume ya kitaifa ya ardhi waweze kutoa mwongozo thabiti, kujulikane kwamba ni nani mwenye shamba, ana shamba kiasi kipi, ndio kuache kuwa na huu mgogoro ambao unapata na hawa wakora wanaingilia katikati na wanaanza kunyakua mashamba ya watu, Bwana Spika. Na hilo ndilo jambo ambalo linasumbua. Ukienda Laikipia, mheshimiwa, mahali kunaitwa Dhome, shida ni hii, watu hana hati miliki za mashamba. Kwa hivyo hawa wafanyi biashara walagai wanaingilia kati na kuchukua zile shamba na kuleta vita. Si Dhome peke yake, Bwana Spika, ukienda mahali kunaitwa Kairigere na hata mahali kunaitwa Matanya, shida ni hii Bwana Spika. Kwa hivyo hii shida ya mashamba iko sehemu nyingi ya Jamhuri ya Kenya. Bwana Spika, katika taarifa iliyoletwa na Senator Chute, mambo ya barabara, Bwana Spika, nakubali kabisa kwamba mvua ni baraka, lakini vile vile haya maafa yanayoletwa na mvua, unapata barabara zetu ziko katika hali mbovu kabisa, Bwana Spika, kwa sababu ya vile wanakandarasi wanavyotengeneza barabara zetu na kutoweka ile mitaro ya kuondoa maji, Bwana Spika. Bwana Spika, ukitembelea kutoka mahali kunaitwa Narumoro kuenda Ramuria, uende mpaka Makutano, barabara imeharibika kabisa na imeharibiwa na mvua, Bwana Spika. Vile vile ukienda mahali kutoka Nanyuki uende Mutara, uende mpaka Rumuruti, na vile vile uende mpaka mahali kunaitwa Kungu, hali ni ile Bwana Spika. Lakini la kushangaza zaidi, Bwana Spika, ni hawa wanakandarasi ambao wanapewa kutengeneza barabara. Wanakuja wanachimba barabara, baada ya kuchimba barabara basi wanasema hawajalipwa. Kwa hivyo wanawacha barabara zetu zikiwa katika hali duni, mashimo chungu nzima, Bwana Spika. Kwa hivyo vile tungelitaka ni kama mtu hataweza kufanya chochote, awachane na barabara, badala ya kwenda kuchimba mashimo, unapata watu wanakuja wanagonga yale mashimo ukiwa unaendesha gari, alafu kunakuwa na mikasa barabarani, Bwana Spika. Kwa hivyo kamati ambayo inahusika tungewarai wafuatilie haya mambo, ndio wanakandarasi ambao wanalegea katika kazi zao waweze kuchukuliwa
Senator Esi Okenyuri.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I wish to support the statement by Senator Abbas on the status of the recruitment exercise at the Kenya Ports Authority. Mr. Speaker, I have received oh, it's been dropped. That's what I wanted to comment on, Mr. Speaker. I thank you.
Well expunged the little comments that you've made on the same. Senator Wamatinga.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity to comment on the statement by Senator Chute. Indeed, the issue of roads and infrastructure development across the country cannot be overemphasized. It is indeed, Mr. Speaker, as has been mentioned, that the distribution of the road construction in Kenya has been very, very skewed. And this, Mr. Speaker, I'll say with the special emphasis of the 52% of my county, which happens to be semi-arid, Mr. Speaker. And we see that during the rainy season, despite that being a food basket potential, the roads are impassable and the farmers are left, Mr. Speaker, with their food and they're not able to access the market. Mr. Speaker, if we came up with a different formula of how to implement this road, if we came up with new definition of what a contractor should be able to undertake, and I want to support what Senator Kenyua has said, some of the contractors, Mr. Speaker, who are given the roads are forced to undercut the contracts, and in the process of doing the work, they compromise the quality of the work, Mr. Speaker. And I'm speaking, Mr. Speaker, with a lot of pain because some of the roads that have been specifically done in Kieni constituency, which makes 52% of Nyeri, including the road that Senator Kenywa has mentioned, the one from Narumoro, Kiawara, all the way, Mr. Speaker. The road, which has been done a couple of years ago, it's no more. The cost of maintaining that road, Mr. Speaker, is going to be far much higher than the initial cost of construction. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, it is called upon us, Mr. Speaker, to relook at how we evaluate the contractors. We relook at, Mr. Speaker, the contractors who we award these contracts. And most important, Mr. Speaker, we must remit the political interference from the leadership, because of some of unethical practices, they end up pushing the contractors to the edge, so that the contractors are forced to compromise the quality of the road, Mr. Speaker. Having said that, Mr. Speaker, it is also very important to mention that we saw, for the first time in the history of this country, the Northwestern Region, which has been marginalized by all successful governments, have now gotten a 710 kilometers long road, Mr. Speaker, which is going to open up the potential in that area, Mr. Speaker. But as we're doing that, Mr. Speaker, let it also not be lost to us that some areas still remain marginalized, and the contractors and the ministry must come up with a methodology that will ensure that once we do a load, we do not do the road volume, we do proper roads that will be able to withstand the weather conditions, roads that will be able to withstand the conditions in those areas. I support, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Newton.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to support the statement first by Senator Chute on the maintenance of roads in his county, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, why we have a road maintenance levy in every liter of fuel that we buy from the pump, Mr. Speaker, is so that we can be able to maintain our roads. Because it is not enough to build roads. Roads, once built, must be able to be maintained in order for them to continue giving services. And Mr. Speaker, I'm saying this because there is a road also that affects my county, a road 12 kilometers, opened during the reign of the late President Moi in 1988, a dual carriageway connecting Thika to a town called Kenol. We have not seen, since 1988, 38 years ago, or for some 38 years, we have not seen, potholes in that particular road. And they are now there, because any time that road, Mr. Speaker, gets damaged, there is recarpeting. That is not happening, and we must call upon the Minister of Roads to maintain roads, because maintenance is what must be done besides making of new roads, Mr. Speaker. Allow me also, Mr. Speaker, to comment on the statement by Senator Boni Halwale on public land that he is seeking to see to it that the ownership of the same is established, and that there is an institution sitting, on a part of that particular land, Mr. Speaker. We must protect public land wherever it is, Mr. Speaker, because if we want to have future development, Mr. Speaker, and public utilities, expansion of public utilities, we must have land on which we will do that. Mr. Speaker, it will be remembered that not long ago, a part of Langata Road Primary School playfield had been grabbed by a neighboring hotel, Mr. Speaker. And this is a culture, this is a cancer that we must cure. That institutions, hotels, private investors and everybody must keep public land away from their plans, Mr. Speaker. So I want to support that land that belongs to the public in Kakamega, where a school is sitting. If the school is sitting on public land, then something must be done so that the same goes back to the public. Mr. Speaker, I support.
Senator Mwenda Gataya.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I wish to support the statement by Honorable Chute on the state of roads in this country. Honorable Speaker, I don't know for what reasons that we have not been having equal distribution of roads. Roads, Honorable Speaker, is a very critical component in terms of development. Honorable Speaker, I come from Tharaka-Nithi County. Tharaka-Nithi County, Honorable Speaker, some parts have been seriously neglected. There is a road which from Chakariga to Marimanti, which I think is a very key institutions. Tharaka University, Tharaka South Citizen Headquarters, name them, all the big institutions in Tharaka constituency, Honorable Speaker. That road was, I think it was launched around 2013, 2015, up to now. Even the part that road the part which was already made has already started peeling off. Honorable Speaker, if you look at the road from Mponi to Nkondi, which is all the way to the Tharaka University, it's now impassable, especially during these rain seasons. There are parts of the Tharaka constituency, the parts of Gatonga, the parts of Galangachieni. There is not things that, Honorable Speaker, that one cannot imagine that we are living in the same country. So, Honorable Speaker, it's a matter that the ministry should move with a lot of speed and make sure that every part of the country, every part of this country, Honorable Speaker, enjoys good infrastructure, because roads are a critical component in terms of development, Honorable Speaker. So I want to agree with Senator Chute, not only in Marsabit, which has been neglected. There we have some serious part of this country that does not enjoy any good infrastructure in terms of roads, Honorable Speaker. It's an issue that should be looked at very critically by the ministry, and it's high time, Honorable Speaker, that the people who are supposed to make sure that people get good roads, even the contractors who are supposed to be on the side, Honorable Speaker, should be paid on time so that maybe they can complete the roads that are already initiated, Honorable Speaker. In that arrangement, Honorable Speaker, I support the statement by Honorable Chute.
Senator Mandago.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I would like to contribute the statement by Senator Boni Kalwale. Honorable Speaker, public utilities are set aside for a specific cause, and it is becoming an alarming situation in our counties, Honorable Speaker, because public utilities are increasingly being leased out regardless of the purpose that was being set aside for. I therefore want to agree with Senator Monica Kalwale and support this statement that the ownership of that land needs to be ascertained, and we need to ask our county governments not to abuse the powers that they have been given in collusion with officers from the National Land Commission who are based in the counties, Honorable Speaker, and begin allocating land while backdating documents, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, we have witnessed situations where, and you know we are fortunate, Honorable Speaker, the longevity of life in this country, the average lifespan is around 70 years. You find a number of former county council clerks, former county council treasurers, former county council chairmen and municipal chairmen, Honorable Speaker, and former chairs of planning committees of municipalities are still around with us. They are no longer in office, but they are signing documents, Honorable Speaker. And that is why you would find land like this one in Kakamega would easily change hands. And when you check out the documentation and the signatures, they are verifiable. However, the period in which it is being signed is not the period that was supposed to have been signed, Honorable Speaker, and therefore creating a loss of public utilities that would have been otherwise utilized for public good. Honorable Speaker, allow me also to comment on the issue of roads, statement by Senator Chute, and on the roads maintenance levy. Honorable Speaker, I also want to encourage counties. There are a number of county roads that transcend sub-counties and counties, Honorable Speaker. There is need for those counties to sit with the road agencies and upgrade, classify those roads so that they are properly classified and transferred to care, Honorable Speaker, so that national government can maintain. If you look at the distribution of roads between national and county governments, Honorable Speaker, you'll find there are more kilometers of roads in our counties compared to the number of kilometers of roads that has been set aside for maintenance by KERA, KURA, or KENA, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, counties need also to check and reclassify the roads so that appropriate agencies can take them up, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I sympathize with my friend Senator Mwenda Gadaya of Tharaka Nithi when he says that the roads in those places are neglected, and it tends to encourage me that, Honorable Speaker, the theory and the narrative of Mount Kenya seems there is a difference between Mount Kenya East and Mount Kenya West.
Now, honorable senators, allow me to rearrange today's order paper. We will move to order number 17 and thereafter resume the normal flow. of today's order paper. Clerk, kindly proceed to call that order.
Order number 17, the Equalization Fund Appropriation Bill, National Assembly Bills number 21 of 2025, resumption of debate interrupted on Wednesday, 6th May 2026, afternoon sitting, second reading.
Now, honorable senators, before I call upon those who wish to speak on this particular bill, allow me to make this communication. I would like to acknowledge the presence in the public gallery this afternoon of a visiting delegation of 5 teachers and 6 students from MP Shah Chania Girls School in Kiambu County. The delegation is visiting the Senate for an academic exposition. On behalf of the Senate and my own behalf, I extend a warm welcome to the delegation and wish them a fruitful visit. I will call upon Senator Crystal Asige under 1 minute to extend the word of welcome.
Thank you very much, Speaker. I appreciate the opportunity to greet and welcome the group from Chania Girls High School to the Senate. Speaker, this, of course, is something that we do every single week, week in, week out, where we have young people from across the country from different walks of life coming to visit the Senate and to understand and experience what it is that we do here. Senate, as they may be aware by now, is mandated to protect the interests of counties. So their county as well, we take care of what comes, especially funding that comes to your county. So we are happy that you are here to experience and to see firsthand what we do here, how we debate, how we fight for the rights of all counties across the country, Speaker. And of course, as a young legislator myself, I'm particularly pleased whenever I am aware that young people, young girls, are also in the Senate, just like I am. Speaker, my story is very long. I will hopefully tell it to them one day when I meet them in the streets of Kenya, wherever that may be. But I want to encourage them, just like I have done with any young person that I meet, especially young girls, especially those with disabilities even, that you can absolutely get here if you so wish. If you put your mind to it, if you create the right environment for yourself to achieve and to continue to believe in yourself, just like me, even though I have a disability, I made it to the Senate. And if I have a disability and I made it to the Senate, you absolutely can as well. I continue to extend on behalf of the Senate a welcome to you, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the afternoon with us. I thank you.
Now, honorable senators, when debate was interrupted yesterday, Senator Consolata had the floor with a balance of 14 minutes. You may continue, honorable senator.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the additional time. Although I had almost completed or concluded my submission, but I had a few points because we were questioning about the absorption of this equalization fund that was meant to stabilize or improve on the quality of life of the people who come from marginalized communities. I was majorly focused on Bungoma County and specifically Mount Elgon, which has the allocation for the funds, but we are shocked to learn that these funds have not actually been absorbed or they have not been allocated. Reason being there was no submission of the project proposals. So I was wondering how a county of repute like Bungoma County can miss out on submitting proposals or project proposals when we have got so many youths in Bungoma County who are using digital spaces to look for jobs. Maybe if our county could task the youths to do some project proposals, in regard to the marginalized areas, then this money would not be returned to the National Treasury. Instead, it could have been used to assist people from marginalized communities. The cases in point were areas in Mount Elgon, like Kaptama, Kopsiro, Chepiuk, Sambocho, Kapkurong, Chongeyo, Koshok, and other areas in Mount Elgon. You find that most social amenities in Mount Elgon are pathetic. For instance, the road infrastructure in Mount Elgon is wanting, yet Mount Elgon happens to be a major food basket for Bungoma County. So I really want to reiterate the point that our leaders and the concerned authorities. Mr. Speaker, I seek for your protection from the Deputy Speaker.
Honorable Deputy Speaker, you ought to be protecting the member, not...
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for the protection. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for that protection. So echoing the points that were given by other senators in regard to their specific counties that required the equalization fund. So Mount Elgon has got a very poor road network, and it could be ideal if the authorities really maximized on that and did the relevant project proposals in order to get that money so that it can improve on the social amenities. It is a little bit weird to see women trekking to fetch water from very far places, looking for water, maybe to water their livestock and do irrigation, and maybe even for domestic use. And if you look at the health facilities, they are also pathetic. In some areas, we just have buildings, but they are not well equipped. There is no human capital in those hospitals. And this, as a mother, will always affect maternal and infant health care. And I'm calling upon the authorities to check on that. I want to stop there and still make a clarion call to Bungoma County leadership that let us all have a concerted effort to make project proposals that will yield some fruits and good health or quality services to the people of Bungoma. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for that opportunity.
Senator Mandago.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I would want to make my contribution on this equalization fund bill, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Speaker, my attention has been drawn in the allocation of the funds, Honorable Speaker. Looking at some counties that are fairly heavily marginalized, Honorable Speaker, and looking at the resource allocation, and we would like CRA to relook into the formula of allocating these resources, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, if you look at a county like Elgeyo Marakwet County, Honorable Speaker, the total allocation is 87 million, Honorable Speaker. And Marakwet West has been allocated only 9 million. Marakwet East has been allocated 87 million. Keyo South has been allocated 9 million. Considering that Elgeyo Marakwet County is among the counties that receive the least revenue. In fact, it is among the 10 counties that this Honorable House made a decision to allow for some affirmative action in the revenue sharing, Honorable Speaker, in order to allow those counties to have some semblance of equitable resources to develop their counties. If you look at a county like Elgeyo Marakwet, Honorable Speaker, to do a kilometer of road, just a simple all-weather road, Honorable Speaker, you would require close to 5 million per kilometer. If you go to a place like Uasin Gishu, you require 1.5 million, Honorable Speaker. When I look at the way these resources have been allocated, there is skewedness in the allocation of resources, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, when you go to Narok County, for example, Honorable Speaker, you find the allocation in Narok County, Honorable Speaker, particularly the allocation to Emurua Digir constituency, Honorable Speaker, the allocation is so skewed if you compare to the allocation to the other constituencies within Narok County, Honorable Speaker. If you look at, for example, Kilgore's constituency, which is just a neighboring constituency, they share the same geographical area, the same types of soils, population, almost population. Kilgore's constituency receives 350 million, whereas Emurua Digir constituency receives a paltry 36 million. When you look at Narok East, it receives 148 million. When you look at Narok North, it receives 246 million. When you look at Narok South, it receives 278 million. When you look at Narok West, it receives 195. That kind of disparity, Honorable Speaker, in a county cannot be explained. The demarcation of our counties, the elimination of boundaries, Honorable Speaker, considered so many factors, including geographical area, population, and so forth. I want to request that the Commission for Revenue Allocation reconsiders the formula they are using to allocate these resources, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, if you look at the counties that have been receiving the largest share of our equitable revenue, in the Equalization Fund, Honorable Speaker, they have continued to receive additional resources. If this fund is going to continue, Honorable Speaker, then we might need to review the basis of allocation and consideration for Equalization Fund, putting into consideration the efforts the national government has done in improvement of infrastructure, Honorable Speaker. If you look at counties like Mandera, Wajir, Garissa, in the past they didn't have any roads, but you can see the effort national government is putting. A number of roads now are being tarmacked in those regions, and therefore the formula should be reviewed to reflect the current situation, Honorable Speaker. Finally, Honorable Speaker, let me say, ever since these funds were taken to counties, and I know this Honorable House to put a spirited fight to ensure that these funds go to counties, Honorable Speaker, it is quite unfortunate that the impact of these funds have not been felt in our counties, Honorable Speaker, and therefore we want to ask our governors and our county assemblies to make sure that these funds are used for the intended purpose, and we must receive value for money, and we must feel the impact of these additional resources to the counties, Honorable Speaker. An additional allocation of 16.8 billion is not a small allocation. We therefore expect our counties to be able to utilize this money better and make sure that the citizens of our counties, Honorable Speaker, receive the necessary services. If you go to a county like Tharaka-Nithi, where my friend Mwenda Gataya, you have just heard him speak about the state of the roads in that county, they are receiving a total of 71 million, Honorable Speaker. CRA is not doing justice, particularly to the 10 counties that, as a Senate, we deemed it fit to have an affirmative action to increase their resources. Consequently, in this Equalization Fund, Honorable Speaker, CRA must also consider an affirmative action towards the 10 bottom counties and ensure they receive additional resources to be able to bring them up so that this country can equitably be developed. I submit.
Senator Kisang.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I rise to support this bill. Honorable Speaker, the reason why Equalization Fund was set up under the new constitution, Honorable Speaker, was to ensure that those particular counties or sublocations that CRA has classified that are not, in terms of development are still below, requires to be given an affirmative action so that they can catch up with the rest of the country, Honorable Speaker. I want to note that it's unfortunate that CRA is still using the second policy that was approved in 2018. And if you check, Honorable Speaker, Elgeyo-Marakwet County is really still very low. What the allocation that we have been given, just about 105 million. And Elgeyo-Marakwet County is one of the 12 marginalized counties that are getting share of revenue that is below 6 billion. And you know, the reason why for this particular equalization fund, Honorable Speaker, is to ensure we have affirmative action. We ensure those counties that are still below in terms of development are farmed up so that they can catch up with the rest of the country. You will realize some of the counties that are getting even more than 10 billion in share of revenue, Honorable Speaker, are still getting billions on equalization fund. I'm surprised how it's like CRA is in another world. They are not living in Kenya, Honorable Speaker, because it's unfortunate. They are marginalizing, they are continuing to marginalize some of us, Honorable Speaker. And this, when they are looking at the third, they need to start on the third basis or the policy, Honorable Speaker. They need to do proper public participation so that some counties like Elgeyo Marakwet County, Baringo, West Pokot, and the others can be taken care of. In fact, as Senator Mandago said, when we went to Narok for the burial of our colleague, late Joanna Ngeno, the road from Chebole all the way to Emurua Digri, it's like, no, the road doesn't look like you are in Kenya, Honorable Speaker. And what they are getting is basically very low. They need to sit down, look at this policy, and come up with different parameters so that they can assist the people. One of the other issues, Honorable Speaker, that you may have noticed here, out of the 16 billion that we're talking about, basically the new allocation is about 10 billion. The rest is area, so it means the money has not been utilized. And the reason why it is there, it is because to help. And these resources are supposed to be released early so that the counties can access the resources, help the people to get water. We do roads, we do electricity. So, yeah, Honorable Speaker, they need to fast track quickly so that the areas can be released, and then the regular current resources that are allocated are given in time, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, will be championing and pushing to ensure that the 12 marginalized counties, you know, this house, thanks a lot, this house, they gave us about 4.46 billion to share, which basically every county was shared equally, getting 374 million every financial year for the next 5 years. But this equalization fund, Honorable Speaker, if it is not working, because it looks like there is also conflict between the two houses, who wants to implement? Members of National Assembly, they want to implement it. There is governors, they want to implement, to get the resources and do the implementation. The executive also, Honorable Speaker, want to implement this particular thing. So maybe what we can do is to scrap this. We have the 0.5, and we ensure we give it to the 12 counties so that these 12 counties can catch up, Honorable Speaker, in terms of development. Yeah. Yes, I know the five-share finance. I don't know what interest it shares, because even our own county, Kitui, Honorable, yeah. So I don't want you to lose your votes because of... Yes, sir.
You know, you are only registered, so don't engage Senator Mutinda on the throne.
Sorry. You know, she was smiling and dancing, so I got distracted.
You know, while contributing, just focus to the speaker.
I'll focus on you.
You'll be disrupted if you focus
I'll focus on you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker.
Yes, Senator Mutinda, what is your point of order?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. You know, Mr. Speaker, when I'm in chamber, I concentrate with my work and my assignment. When Honorable, a ranking member, would say that I am dancing, is it in order, Mr. Speaker, for the Honorable Senator to mislead the House about another Honorable Senator who humbly knows her work, who is focused and disciplined in what I say? So I would request and kindly for him to withdraw and apologize.
The only problem that you have, Senator Mutinda, is that you trying to engage Senator Kisang when he was also contributing. So that is why also he focused on you. Maybe, I don't know, I was not really for Nini looking at you to know whether you are dancing or not, but maybe Senator Kisang can confirm himself what he saw. Senator Kisang.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, there are several sub-locations in Elgeyo Marakwet County, especially.
Senator Mutinda has raised. Maybe you can clear concerns.
No, that's okay. Actually, I withdraw. She was not dancing. She was twisting her head. I don't know, signaling to Jaraga or not me. So, Honorable Speaker, all of the trench of Keria Valley from Liter in Marakwet East all the way to Kocholwo in Keyo South, all that belt,
yes,
we
Senator
have...
Chalagay, just a minute, Senator Kisang. Let's get the point of order from Senator Chalagay.
Mr. Speaker, is it in order understanding order 105 on accuracy of facts? And there are only 3 forms of communicating in this house. You either use English, Kiswahili, and sign language. For Senator Kisang, my brother, to say Senator Mutinda was twisting her head, giving me signal. Is that accuracy of facts? In fact, I didn't see Senator Mutinda doing that. Yeah, she has been consulting with Senator Amida. Can you withdraw and apologize so that it is not misinterpreted that we are giving unwarranted gestures on the floor of the House, Mr. Speaker? I don't know why Senator Kisang today is overly excited. He's always a calm man. I don't know why. Maybe he ate something that we don't eat.
Senator
Or
Chalagay.
Mirage juice. Or Ritakan Mirage juice that you had proposed.
Senator Chalagay, okay, I'll give you Senator Asige. But Senator Chalagay, you know, myself, I recused myself from that issue between the eyes, Senator Kisang's eyes and Senator Mutinda's eyes. So the way they look at one another, you know, you can never know. Also, I'm wondering whether also you are also focusing on Senator Mutinda, that you did not see her and dance. So because I ruled on that matter, Senator Chalagay, I ruled on that matter, and Senator Kisang also give his opinion. I don't know why, Senator Chalagay, you are taking us back, because we concluded on that matter, and Senator Kisang, proceed.
Maybe, Chair, I had cleared there, and then I said I apologize. So, Cherargay loves interruptions. So, Honorable Speaker, so that I can also finish, they are eating my time. Honorable Speaker, I was saying the whole of stretch from Liter in Elgeyo Marakwet County, Marakwet East, all the way coming to Marakwet West, going to Keyo North and Keyo South, the whole of Keria Valley is basically an hardship area. And I expected CRA to include all our sub-locations along Keria Valley of Elgeyo Marakwet County from Kocholo.
Senator Kisang, just a minute. I want to be very fair to Senator Christo Asige. What is your point of order, Senator Asige?
Thank you very much, Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to raise this. It's similarly on 105, Speaker. Speaker, it may sound like it is a light-hearted issue that has been raised here about the comments that Senator Kisang made to a colleague, female senator. However, Speaker, as you know, us as women, we are judged much more harshly than the public, by the public when in public service, Speaker, when in any form of leadership. So when there is a comment that is made off of the cuff or off the handle that is characterizing a female senator as just sitting in chambers, smiling, dancing, twisting her neck,
causing any kind of distraction. Then, Speaker, that actually falls on the rest of us as female leaders. We are all painted with a broad stroke. And then you'll see, Speaker, very soon online, people saying, look at what senators in the Republic of Kenya are doing, the female senators. They're just sitting in Senate, smiling, dancing, twisting their neck, and distracting other members from the order of the business that is being transacted. So, Speaker, it's actually a very serious issue, and I hope you, being a champion of women, and very inclusive and very sober in your judgment, Speaker, that you would request Senator Kisang to respectfully and just honorably just withdraw and apologize so that we can carry on and not have this mischaracterization continue out in the public. I thank you.
Speaker, to save time, I withdraw.
Senator Kisang.
Yes.
Senator Kisang, just a minute.
Okay.
Just a minute.
All right.
This is a matter that really has elicited a lot of interest and emotions. But Senator Chelagey, avoid giving me the ones that I should use. Because you have just tested me and I've used you the ones coming from your mouth. I want to give my colleague here, Senator Mandago, he has a point of order as a neonda. You know, just the other day, one of the chairs said there is no place for orders, but Senator Mandago, what is your point of order?
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. My point of order is on that matter, Honorable Speaker. There is a tendency that is growing in the House. When members are asked to apologize and withdraw, they meander around and try to avoid. I think we should just be as direct and as blank in our apology and withdrawal so that the House can act in some other order. Senator Kisang withdrew, apologized, then added another twist into the statement. So I think we should just stick, when the Speaker rules that you withdraw and apologize, you simply withdraw and apologize so that the House can, the House can progress, and we should not be lost on the Senate that this is the House that the people of Kenya look up to when serious matters needs to be canvassed. We cannot afford to lower the threshold of this House, Honorable Speaker. As an upper house, you know the high school is closed. They are not around, so they should. Honorable Speaker, we need to do that. Thank you.
I thank you, Honorable Speaker, especially for your being fair to both genders. Because as you refer to the Senator Mandago as an elder, you are cognizant to the fact that there are also women elders. And I'm one of them in my community. I want to re-emphasize what Senator Asige has said, and taking from reports we have had in the past, not only on women in parliament, but women generally, on reporting about us, Honorable Speaker. I also ask the ranking member, Senator Kisang, who I know is equally one of our mature senators, that the best you can do is to just withdraw all that line and use better words. I'm an English teacher, and if you lack words to use, I could add on to the words that would be useful and parliamentary to you. Honorable Speaker, I thank you.
Senator Minda Kibono.
DS, I think I heard you commenting on something, and I think it also added some from an insult. I mean, more or less, you know, from more to the frank fire, or to the frank fire. What did they say it? From the pan to the frank fire. Bonadies, you commented on something saying that Senator Chesang, you don't know what was, you know, the in between, the communication between Senator Mutinda and Senator Chesang. Yet there was actually nothing Kisang, sorry, and there's nothing between them. I mean, it was just mutual, that, you know, discussion. So you added something that, of course, motivated Senator Kisang to feel more protected. So I want you also, Bonadies, if you can withdraw what you said about Senator Mutinda. Thank you.
Senator Kisang, You know, if even we go back to the answer, Senator Kisang really apologized, actually now twice. But you know, his apologies maybe was not very, very firm. Maybe Senator Kisang, can you now really apologize to the great leaders who are here so that we can make progress?
Good. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, as husband of one wife and two daughters, I want to apologize and withdraw and apologize.
Thank you. Very well. Proceed and conclude, Senator Kisang.
Good. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I was saying, you know, Elgeyo-Marakwet County, the stretch along Keria Valley from Kocholo all the way to Little in Marakwet East, Honorable Speaker, is basically classified as an hardship area. And I wonder why CRA has not picked all the sublocations of the Keria Valley of Elgeyo-Marakwet County to be included as part of those to benefit from Equalization Fund. We continue to serve, Honorable Speaker. Thank God the government of Dr. William Samoei Ruto came in, and the banditry that was there in the past has now been stopped completely, and our people have gone back to work, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, there are even other menaces that has messed up the people of Elgeyo-Marakwet County, Honorable Speaker. We have elephants. We have a national game reserve, Honorable Speaker, and it has destroyed crops, mangoes, oranges, pixies, Honorable Speaker, and this is the same area where CRA is not seeing and considering and classifying to benefit from this equalization fund, Honorable Speaker. So that's why I was saying we need to push CRA to come up with the next third policy on equalization fund, Honorable Speaker, so that majority of the 12 counties that are getting less than 6 billion on shareable revenue get more resources. In fact, I was saying what brought issues, Honorable Speaker, is what I said, the 10.6 billion, maybe we need to add with the 4.46 billion to make it about 15 billion, and let this 15 billion, Honorable Speaker, be shared by the 12 counties, so that at least each county can get close to about 1.2 billion. And then we can have resources that we can do proper development, Honorable Speaker. You can imagine, Honorable Speaker, some counties are using 3 billion to feed children with borage. While in Elgeyo-Marakwet County, we have less than 1 billion to do roads, to supply water to our people, to do ECD classes. Honorable Speaker, it's not fair. That's why I was saying in the past, Honorable Speaker, if we are not very careful, there'll be some counties that will look like at the level of Kenya 4 years ago, and the others will be like Singapore, will be like Malaysia, Honorable Speaker. So it is good to sit down as a country. We need to rethink this thing so that everybody else gets an equitable resources instead of continuing to marginalize other counties. In fact, Honorable Speaker, we also want to ask those who are implementing these particular projects on equalization fund, Honorable Speaker. There has been a lot of cry, Honorable Speaker, that they are delayed. Some of the projects are started, they are not completed. So Kenyans are not getting value for money from these equalization fund resources, Honorable Speaker. That's why maybe the best thing to do, we get rid of it. I know we extended the time. It was supposed to be 10 years. It was moved to 20 years. Maybe it is time to rethink about it and increase the percentage that is going to shareable so that the rest of the counties can benefit more, Honorable Speaker. With those many remarks, Honorable Speaker, I support, and we ask colleagues, let us support, but we need CRA to come up with another policy on equalization fund that will benefit the real marginalized counties. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Very well, Senator Joyce Korir.
Yeah, Honorable Speaker, allow me to thank the Committee on Finance for the job well done. This is one of the most active committee in the Senate. Bearing in mind, Honorable Speaker, they are the ones who are assisting us in making sure that our counties get these resources, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want to say that I must thank the Chair, Ali Roba, and the Vice Chair and the entire committee. I've been a member of that committee at some point, and I know that they burn their midnight oil doing these reports, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, a number of issues has been raised by the members of this House. But my concerns, Honorable Speaker, is the formula that is being used by the CRA to arrive at this. My problem are the beneficiaries, the counties that are benefiting from this equalization fund, Honorable Speaker. My problem is the projects that are entailed to be used in terms of making sure that these counties benefit. And when you go to these counties, Honorable Speaker, you still find the same challenges. And the biggest reason is because of the remittance by the relevant board. Honorable Speaker, I want to challenge the board, despite the fact that the national government has established this and they have been given the resources. The challenge that the counties are facing is the remittance, which has also slowed down the service delivery in these counties. Not only that, Speaker, I raised the issue of these counties which were identified. When you try to look at it, I can term it, Honorable Speaker, that some of these counties were identified politically and not based on the facts that was raised by the relevant authority. By so saying, it is high time for this House to relook at this, to redefine the policies that made to the establishment of this equalization fund. Honorable Speaker, the only time we will see real development and real change is when we do things, not because we come from those particular regions, not because we come from those committees, not because we know so and so, but based on the facts in the ground. That is the only time this country will realize the real change that we are talking about. That is the time when these people or the residents of this country will really see the issue or the movement that the Kenyans have been talking about, that we are moving to Singapore. But the moment we do things, identifying the counties, maybe because you are sitting in that particular committee, or because you have some upper hands in terms of doing this, to an extent that we cannot actualize the intended purpose of these resources, then we are putting our country in a total mess. We are not setting any precedents at all. Honorable Speaker, I want to be part of the Senate that will be doing things the right way, that will be looking at those counties that are really lacking water, roads, despite the fact that we have the resources that have been sent to the county governments. The reason why we have the equalization fund was to support them in terms of getting these amenities, Honorable Speaker. So I would want to challenge that despite the fact that we have a huge bending bill on equalization fund that is supposed to move to these counties, I will still challenge the relevant board and the relevant committee to make sure that they relook at this, especially the committee on devolution, together with the committee on finance, so that we don't do things politically. I believe this is a house of rules and procedures. I believe this is a house that is supposed to put things in order. I believe this is a house that is in between the national government and the county government. I believe this is the only house that can rescue this nation in making sure that what is meant for the county government is given to the county government, and what is meant to the national government is given to the national government. There will be no need, Honorable Speaker, for us to be discussing issues or statutory instruments like intergovernmental act, if at all
the monies or the ones that are already existing are not implemented to the letter, Honorable Speaker. So I just want to say that I would support the committee. I would want us to still look at this, so that as we go to the next budget, we make sure that these monies, as much as we are also talking about the counties having pending bills, Honorable Speaker, it's also putting us in a very awkward position to see even the monies that are meant for equalization fund is still under the pending bills, and very huge for that matter. It's wrong. So I just want to challenge the committees, the two committees, that is the committee on the devolution, the committee on finance, and the entire house, that we must wake up and have a look at this, so that at least we can do things the right way, and the relevant counties who are supposed to benefit from this can benefit. Otherwise, I support it there. Thank you.
Next is Senator Beatrice Ogol.
Honorable Speaker, I thank you for giving me the opportunity to add my voice to the topic of discussion, the equalization bill. Honorable Speaker, this was a very wise idea to address the issue of equity and the issue of marginalization in this country. But Honorable Speaker, as we sit here, we must ask ourselves whether we are achieving that thinking, that wise thinking that led to the inception of this bill, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, you must know, and all of us know, that in this country, the access to certain core services like health is not equal. That when you go around in this country, there are Kenyans who continue to walk long distances to just get medical health, which is a basic right, Honorable Speaker. And I know that these are one of the reasons why this fund was created, Honorable Speaker. But the question is, Honorable Speaker, when you look at the report before us, you look at what so far has been disbursed against, from inception, against the total that should have been disbursed. Honorable Speaker, just look at the report, that out of the 79 plus billion, Honorable Speaker, since this was incepted, there is still a pending 62.677 billion, Honorable Speaker. The question I ask myself as I talk to this bill is that, is it achieving the general goal why it was created? Because if you are going to have such huge arrears, because from what the report shows, only 17 billion has been given out to our counties. Honorable Speaker, we must as a country address the issues of the arrears that are in this report. And secondly, Honorable Speaker, the bill talks about the fund given to counties and further given to constituencies that are within those counties. The question I ask myself, why is it not broken down to the wards? Because with devolution, we have wards. We are here talking about services going down to the people. What is so difficult in having this fund further broken down to the wards? Because as honorable colleagues, senators here, can observe, when you go around in your counties and you see the situations as it is, you are able to single out the challenges that are in the ward. Honorable Speaker, in achieving equity, we must have this fund and disbursed in a timely way. We talk about services, I've mentioned health, even the issue of roads, Honorable Speaker. Some of the functions that were devolved, county roads, Honorable Speaker, and not only county roads, Honorable Speaker. Let me give an example of my constituency, in Ndewa constituency, Honorable Speaker. Right now, if you went to my constituency, the only road that you can use is the one road that cuts across from Homa Bay town constituency to Sori, which is a major trunk road. Other than that tarmac road, Honorable Speaker, the people of my constituency have no road today. Somebody might give the excuse of the rents, but is it only my constituency where there are rents? And because of that, Honorable Speaker, we are looking forward to these funds so that my people, as well as other Kenyans, can get the right services. Honorable Speaker, I've also seen the parameters that have been provided in the report. But how I pray certain parameters were also introduced in future, Honorable Speaker, because if you are looking at marginalization, we know our gender, women, have equally been marginalized. And there should be a better way of ring-fencing some of these funds to serve women in particular, so that we can feel that we are equally Kenyans and the women around in the country can have particular services that have having just been ring-fenced from this file, as well as the youths. Honorable Speaker, certain parameters that could also be used are issues of maternal mortality. Honorable Speaker, in this country, there are particular areas where women are dying while giving birth. And the question we keep on asking ourselves as women and humanity is why women must die in the process of giving birth. Don't we have planning units that can plan for services that women are entitled to? Honorable Speaker, it is the issue of maternal mortality is key, because here we are 60 years after independence, still talking about young girls, young women, and generally women dying, and for reasons that are obvious. Some of them are inefficiency, some of them are inadequate services to them, some of them is lack of monitoring services to these women, some of them is just unavailability of personnel to attend to them at the right time. Honorable Speaker, another area that is key to consider in future as a parameter is even the immunization of children. Honorable Speaker, in this country, we know emerging issues that funding is diminishing and donor funds are bound to end at some point. For example, in immunization, Honorable Speaker, by 2029, the Gavi funding is going to end in this country. But when you look at the trends, from the health ministry, from our counties, you don't see consistent budgets for this exercise. And Honorable Speaker, finally, if this is not done as expected, Honorable Speaker, it will lead us again to medical conditions with our populations that again eat into our budget. So, Honorable Speaker, I support that not everybody is equal in this country, that a number of areas are marginalized, Honorable Speaker, with no access to rural roads, with no access to water, with no access to agricultural services, with no access to health services. And so it is wise that we provide this fund so that equality can be realized and equity. And so, Honorable Speaker, I support. The only thing is that the distribution of this money must take note of the fact that we have wards in our counties, and the breakdown should not only end up at constituencies and counties, but should go down to wards. Honorable Speaker, I support.
Thank you, Senator Agola Beatrice. Honorable Senators, on this particular business, there is no other interested senator to contribute or to speak into it. So what we need to have now is the mover to reply, and the mover is not around. So we defer that process of the mover to reply. If I reorganize again the order paper, order number 18, we defer that business. Then we go to order number 19. Clerk.
Order number 19, motion, mainstreaming of gender perspectives in legislative and policy processes, resumption of debate interrupted on Tuesday, 21st April 2026, balance of time, 1 hour.
Yeah, so I give senators willing to maybe make their presentations or contributions. Senator Manzo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I had not yet contributed to this very important motion, Mr. Speaker. The issue of gender mainstreaming has been a key one for many years, Mr. Speaker. And one time when we were with you at the National Assembly, the former Chief Justice David Maraga declared that Parliament was illegal for failing to meet the gender threshold in a court judgment. And the President was supposed to dissolve Parliament, then President Uhuru Kenyatta. Of course, for other reasons, the President did not, dissolve Parliament at that particular moment, because it was argued that gender mainstreaming then should be progressive, because when it comes to an institution like Parliament, people decide through election. And Mr. Speaker, up to the time, people will want to elect balancing gender, then that's the time when that could be achieved, and that can be done progressively. Other countries have done it progressively. They've also done it through other means, which make sure that you meet the 2/3 gender threshold. But Mr. Speaker, this should begin with appointive positions. If you go to Rwanda, you'll find that the ministers are 50-50. Similarly, with Uganda, they have complied with the 2/3 gender rule. And in some counties, like Makueni County, they have actually met the 2/3 gender rule when it comes to appointive politics, when appointive positions. When you go to Makueni also, you find that the practice has been when the governor is male, automatically the deputy governor becomes female, and it balances the equation in that regard. And I wish that practice could be picked. And similarly in Kenya, if in the appointment of cabinet, it should be 50-50. Then the country will be getting a direction that we are keen on achieving the gender role. I know there's a pending constitutional amendment on this particular matter. It's been debated and is subject to a lot more of debate. And one of the things when we did this in the committee of JLAC, we got all manner of views, Mr. Speaker, during public participation. As much as this is supported, many Kenyans were of the view that if you have to force the gender rule mainstreaming in Parliament, then it means you are going to have so many members of Parliament, to balance this, and it's again an expense on the people. But there are other ways through political parties. Mr. Speaker, you can be able to achieve the 2/3 gender rule. When political parties sponsor candidates and they encourage that is one of ways. And then when it comes to nominations, Mr. Speaker, the gender perspective must be given priority so that we can balance, Mr. Speaker. Therefore, this is a very serious debate. And I want to confirm that in countries like Rwanda, where in cabinet this has been done, and they have encouraged a lot of, gender balance, you find the women have performed very well in their dockets. You find less corruption in their docket, because a lot of women, could be afraid of some of these practices, unlike situations whereby, you find a lot of men are charged in public offices with these vices. In fact, one time I had an opportunity to represent Dr. Margaret Gashara, who was in an organization, government organization, which was dealing with the prevention of HIV/AIDS. And she was prosecuted for paying only 20,000 shillings as a CEO to a chairman who had done an activity, and in an investigation, that amount of money was found irregular. You can see by the time she got prosecuted, she was denied bail because it was argued that she was resisting arrest. And she was only trying to explain herself, Mr. Speaker, but things didn't go well on her. After the case ended, during President Kibaki's regime, I think she relocated out of the country. I didn't see her get out of what generated out of that. So at times, we need to encourage, people who are of good standing, in terms of reputation and in terms of being corruption-free, to serve, in public offices. And I think it should begin, in all sectors, both private, public sectors, to do gender mainstreaming as a policy generally. And therefore, we don't have a policy such as the Constitution guides us. I think this particular motion is very important when it comes to this particular regard. And I believe that, Mr. Speaker, if we work progressively and continue educating Kenyans on this, there will come a time, because all of us, Mr. Speaker, are educating our girls. We want them to be strong and to come to, to this house and represent Kenyans. The way the school system is now, Mr. Speaker, in fact, young women are performing better than young boys. This gender has been hammered so much that now it is time to lift the boy child. Otherwise, we go on like this, Mr. Speaker, you will find very empowered women in the future and less empowered boys, and they may have a very big challenge, approaching the other gender. And therefore, we really want to work on this to make sure that, Mr. Speaker, eventually, progressively, we achieve the gender balance as is required in our Constitution. I thank you, Mr. Speaker. I support.
Thank you, Senator Manzo. Again, honorable senators, there is no other senator interested to make his or her contribution on this motion. And the move of the motion, I can see, is not in the House. So also I defer that the mover will reply in next sitting. So, honorable senators, again, I have to reorganize the order of business. Order number 20, 21, 22, and 23 are defunct. So we go to order number 24, the Environmental Management and Coordination Management Bill.
Order number 20.
Clerk.
Order number 24, the Environmental Management and Coordination Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bills number 66 of 2023, second reading.
Senator Christo Asige.
Thank you very much indeed, Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to table this bill. Mr. Speaker, I rise to move that the Environmental Management and Coordination Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 66 of 2023, be now read a second time. Mr. Speaker, before I begin, I wanted to inform the House that this is a bill that I am co-sponsoring with a member of the National Assembly, that is Honorable Irene Mayaka MP. And I want to, off the bat, Speaker, congratulate her greatly for the work that she has done to draft and to move this bill in the National Assembly through all of its processes. And now it is before us in the Senate so that we can table and debate it as well. Speaker, Honorable Mayaka has done a fantastic job. I want to congratulate her again, not just for pushing this bill, but also for doing a lot of lobbying around the bill, a lot of education and awareness creation amongst members of parliament in both houses. Mr. Speaker, I think that members here will agree with me that Honorable Mayaka has exemplified the role of a nominated member of parliament, not only in the National Assembly, but also in the Senate, not only on the minority side, but also on the majority side. I think it is clear, and you will hear testimonies of members of parliament all across these two houses talking about her excellence in work, her ability to think and represent her people in the most excellent of ways, Speaker, and also, Speaker, her ability to raise impactful issues such as this that we are about to debate, Mr. Speaker. The purpose of this bill, Speaker, is to amend Section 147 of the Environmental Management and Coordination Act of 1999 by introducing a clause that prohibits the planting, introduction, growth, or maintenance of eucalyptus trees along rivers, lakes as well, wetlands, and other critical water catchment areas in the country. Mr. Speaker, eucalyptus remains one of the most widely cultivated forestry species in the world. The genus comprises over 900 species, most of which originate from Australia. Speaker, in Kenya, eucalyptus was introduced as far back as 1902, primarily to support the construction of the Kenya-Uganda Railway through the provision of fuel wood. Today, Speaker, it plays a significant role in our economy. It is used for timber, for transmission poles, for plywood, for fuel wood, fencing posts, construction materials, windbreaks, and even ornamental purposes, Speaker. It is grown across most ecological zones in Kenya on a wide variety of soil types. Speaker, further, it is estimated that about 153,000 hectares of land in Kenya currently under eucalyptus cultivation, spread across gazetted forests, private lands, small-scale farms, and land owned by local authorities. And this area continues to expand, Speaker, driven by high demand, particularly for transmission poles linked to rural electrification, as well as construction and energy needs across the country. There is no doubt that eucalyptus has supported livelihoods all over. A ready market has made it attractive for farmers seeking reliable and relatively quick economic returns. But, Mr. Speaker, we must also confront the growing body of evidence and the lived realities that point to its environmental cost, particularly when planted near water sources. Concerns, Mr. Speaker, have consistently been raised about the high water consumption of eucalyptus and its impact on soil fertility and biodiversity. Communities have associated the drying up of streams, of rivers, and wells with the expansion of eucalyptus plantations. In Kilifi County, for example, the drying of the Shirangwa well has been linked to eucalyptus close by. Mr. Speaker, research findings support these concerns. Studies from countries such as India, Ethiopia, Zimbabwe, and also South Africa show that eucalyptus plantations significantly affect water resources, soil health, and biodiversity. One of the key issues, Speaker, that eucalyptus exhibits is what is scientifically known as the nilallopathic effect, releasing chemical compounds that suppress the growth of other plants around it. As a result, Speaker, it is difficult to find meaningful undergrowth vegetation within eucalyptus plantations, leading to diminished biodiversity in those areas. In addition, Speaker, these chemical compounds can impound affecting soil processes that allow organic matter to build up. This further contributes to declining soil health, Speaker. Also, Speaker, there is documented evidence of reduced water yields. In India and Zimbabwe, as mentioned, studies have also shown a reduction in water levels in wells by between 25 to 30% within just 3 to 5 years of eucalyptus planting around them. The nutrient demands of eucalyptus are also significantly high. While it absorbs large amounts of nutrients from the soil to sustain its rapid growth, Speaker, it also returns very little through leaf litter. This imbalance leads to nutrient depletion and long-term loss of soil fertility. A 2023 study in Ethiopia further indicated that the rapid expansion of eucalyptus farming is likely to affect downstream water supply, what is referred to blue water resources. Now, Mr. Speaker, other jurisdictions have also taken decisive steps. In South Africa, several eucalyptus species have been classified as invasive under the National Environmental Management Biodiversity Act. These include species such as forest red gum, river red gum, salina gum, spider gum, sugar gum, and curry, many of which are also grown here in Kenya, as you know. The classification is based on their severe impact on water resources and ecosystem health, Speaker.